All right, Mr. Briscoe, what's your full name?
Russell Cox Briscoe.
And your date and place of birth?
I was born in Water, Saskatchewan on November the 13th, 1917.
And what about your marital status?
My marital status, I'm married for the second time. Right, this is my second wife, but I did have a former wife who has 3 daughters.
Okay. And do you have any grandchildren?
Oh, grandchildren, yes, I have, about a dozen. Yeah, great and...
Right.
Yes.
Right. What's your current wife's maiden name? First and maiden name?
Her name was Ward. Alma Ward.
Okay.
Alma Louise Ward.
And your previous wife?
Was Eva Schultz.
Eva Schultz. So, where were your parents from?
My parents were from Leeds. They came over here at about the turn of the century. And they ended up in Wattless there on a homestead. So you can imagine people living in England and ending up on a homestead, you know. So you can just, I was the youngest, or the last born. And so, in Wattless there. And so you can just imagine what they must have had raising the children.
Oh yeah, definitely. So tell me about how you made it from your birthplace to New Westminster.
Well, my father was a mover. We started off one place to another place. He was a meat man, meat shops. And the last place we were up in Big River, Saskatchewan. And that was in 1933 we were up there. And in 1935 my brother came out to visit us. He was living here in Westminster. And he asked me if I would like to come to the coast. And I said, well, I'll try it. So I came up with him. And that was on Labor Day weekend. And after the holiday, I said to his wife, where's Brother Bill working? And she says, it's just down on Columbia Street there. Go over to Force and walk down. So I walked down, and I walked in the door, and they said, you want to go to work? He said, there was some guy there had cut his finger, and they put me to work. And then I got started with Safeway, and I worked for them for 11 years.
Oh, okay. Okay. Good. So have you always lived since then in New Westminster?
Yep. Well, I lived out on Austin for a short while, yeah.
Yeah. And ever since you've been here?
Yeah. I've been here it'll be 28 years next month in this building.
And before that you were in New Westminster as well, right?
Yeah.
So what's your current address?
Right here?
Yeah.
Suite 103, 721 Hamilton.
Great. So tell me about your sports involvement. How old were you when you first got involved in sports?
Well, it's a funny story. I was in a place called St. Louis, Saskatchewan. It was on the banks of the Saskatchewan River. And I was about 13 years old, and I could always throw real well, even when I was a kid. And all the men were playing ball there, and I was about the side throwing and learning how to pitch and all that. And a stranger came up to me. He said, do you like pitching? And I said, I sure do. So he said, how'd you like to learn to throw a slow ball, a change-up? And I said, I'd love to, but can you show me? He says, sure. So he got at that time we were playing with an out-seam ball. It had on a seam all the way around a little rim, and it was very easy to grab a hold of and make the ball and do things, you see.
Right.
So he showed me how to do it, and I took him home that day and to the house for supper, and my folks being from Leeds or Yorkshire people, and we always had roast beef and Yorkshire pudding for Sunday. So this was a Sunday day, and he had supper with us and left. He was a hobo. He was going through town to Ontario, and he had been a pitcher someplace, you see, when softball first started. And before the year was out, I was pitching for the men, because I had that change-up that I'm famous for here, too, that everybody talks about. And that'd been great seed, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So this change up, what exactly?
Well, it's a ball, you throw it as hard as you can, but as you release it, you do it gently, and it goes so far and just fades away. People strike at it before it's halfway there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Because it seems to them it's going so fast.
Yes.
Right? Oh, okay. So Did you play in a league then?
Back at home?
Yeah.
No, it was just country teams, you know.
Yeah.
Little towns come in, you know, and they used to have what they call on 24th of May it started, picnics, and they had a ball tournament there, you see, and they played in that.
So when you came to New Westminster, how old were you then?
17.
And did you play baseball right away? Softball, sorry.
Well, I didn't play that year because of Labor Day. It was over, but next spring I was over at the park here, and I asked them if they wanted somebody to play. I wanted to play ball, and they said, "Sure, what do you do?" And I said, "I play outfield." I didn't like to say I pitched because I always wanted to bat.
Oh.
I was always a pretty fair hitter, see. So I played for a while, and one time a hog field team, they challenged us to a game. They'd bring out 5 gallons of ice cream if we put up 5 cases of beer and played in Moody Square, and the winner take the thing, you see. So then I told them I could pitch. So then we went in, and that's from then on I never stopped pitching.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they let you hit?
Huh? Oh, yes. I used to, in those days we always hit.
Yeah.
And I was always a good hitter. You can see my averages in the books there.
Right.
But I was lucky, and I was good. I was a good outfielder too. Besides, and so that's why I got in playing the outfield. But anyway, these are the fellows I'm talking about right here. I play on this picture.
So when you first started playing, what team did you play for?
Well, my wife and I were talking about that the other day. It was a little store down on just below 8th Avenue on Kingsway, and it was some young ladies. They had a hamburger place, and we used to all eat there. You see, and we talked to them into sponsors. They gave us a sweatshirt with a big. Their name was called the White Spot Cafe or restaurant or whatever it was, and so they gave us that for a sponsor thing. You see, that was all we had, and we bought all our own stuff, and then we were getting a little better and better, and Vancouver wouldn't allow us to play in their league. They wouldn't accept us.
Oh.
So we were at that time. The Russ Hotel became our sponsor afterwards.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was the manager of the Russ Hotel and the one of the Ivanhoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Ivanhoe on Kingsway. And we played them a game, challenged them to a game, and we beat them 4-2. And after that, we got into that would be about 37. And then you can see how well we advanced. In 41, we won the BC Championship.
Right. So that league, then, that was a provincial league that you wanted to get into? Is that
yes, because we didn't have at that time, we didn't have enough players in town here, you see, really. Okay. And there were mostly C teams and that. But after we got playing and got better, we formed our own league here.
In New Westminster?
Yeah. Oh. And that's where I was going to talk about Arnie Carlson and them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your own league then, that was just a New Westminster league, is that right?
Yes. Burnaby, one Burnaby team up by the Burnaby School.
Right. And then if you won the finals in that, is that when you'd go on to BC?
Yeah, we'd go on to, they kind of grouped them and we challenged them, you see.
How long did you play, how long did you pitch for?
I pitched here from 36 to 54.
And then was it with softball, or did you do anything else?
1 year I played baseball.
Oh, okay. And did you like that? Or?
Yeah, I had played a bit when I was a kid, but I only did it part-time. And then in the fall, a team took me back and we pitched in the BC final, and we got beat over in Nanaimo on that.
And then, okay, so then after you finished your sort of pitching career, that was 1954, did you do anything else with sports after that? I
became the coach of that team, of the teams that we always had.
In New Westminster here?
Right. I coached for, I guess from 55, I guess would be the first year, it would be up to 67 or 68.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Really?
and we had some wonderful teams.
Mm-hmm.
As I say, that team that we beat Vancouver, the big teams all over there, 13 straight games. and the funny part, that year, a fellow came to see me and wanted me to bring our team down to Long Beach, California, International Softball Congress. And because they were trying to get the Canadian teams down there. Well, there was quite a rumble about it. They were going to suspend us, they were going to do this and do that. But we decided to go anyway, and that's one of the biggest thrills I had, to go play against the best teams in the world.
What year was that?
58. 1958.
Yeah. So you were coaching then?
Yeah, and we went, my team went 6 times. We went 3 times down to Long Beach and 3 times to Rock Island, Illinois.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So then, how would your team be able to go down there? How did they qualify?
Well, we were supposedly qualified, and the first time it was there's a team from Toronto was coming down, and we were going down. And that big trophy there was made. They had that made for us, that we were to play the Toronto team the first game, and the winner has that trophy.
Right.
Well, they scared the Toronto team, and they backed out. So we were the one who showed up, so we got the trophy. And we still got it there. But, we went down after that. We had some bad feelings between as I can show you in my books there, with the Vancouver outfit, because they were the ASA, American Softball Association, you see, and they didn't want this other team coming in. And one of the men that's Canadian executive now for this ISC, he came to see me last year, and he said, we thank your team for starting us off in Canada. And now they're the ones that have those tournaments out here
in Surrey there?
In Surrey there.
Oh, okay. At Softball City. Oh, okay.
So that's how and he took all my books and took all the information about being down there, because they were looking for information about that.
So were you able to join then the ASA? Is that the sort of the big?
No, the ASA was the one that the Vancouver had. We got into the ISC, the International Softball Congress.
Oh, okay, so they're 2 different leagues.
Yeah.
Right?
Now I never hear of the ASC. The ISC are the ones that are all over Canada.
So what was it like being a coach as opposed to being a player?
Well, I tell you, I loved it, but I didn't have much to do, because it seemed that every player I had knew what he was doing. There was no, getting after people for not doing their jobs, and they there was a few of the ones that are there, but the rest were all gone by that time. They all finished playing, so I kept getting different players. We always seemed to be able to pick up the best players, so we were always winning.
Right. And when you say pick up the best players, is that for the league in New Westminster? Or
Yeah. We had, and one year the thing was kind of short of players, so we took our team and broke it up on all our good players on these other teams. And then when it came around to going back south, we all come back together and went back down to play in the World Tournament down there.
Oh, I see. Right. What sort of challenges did you have first of all, as a player? What sort of obstacles did you face in playing? Getting recognition.
Well, I guess it was because I was a pitcher. It seems that you're always in the game. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I did very well, as you see that with that winning the 14 titles for the city here, our team in a row there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so that was quite a feat that we had, and we got good publicity from the Columbian newspaper at that time. They were really behind our league, and they used to have pushes ahead all the time.
Oh, yeah. Now I notice, in this room, it's full of memorabilia.
Yeah.
So when did you start collecting?
Oh, I started this when I first came here, a few things, and then I got into this here, these baseball, all these wonderful baseball players.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a baseball and hockey fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm 100% both of them. You see, I got all the hockey players and
right.
trophies up there and that.
Right, right. And so how does that, like, did you collect information about New Westminster as well? Like, information about softball in New Westminster?
Yeah, the New Westminster, well, they don't seem to have any here now.
Oh, okay.
It's, you go over to the park there, and there isn't 25 or 30 people there. From the times that we had up as high as 3,000.
What a difference.
And we played with no lights.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first started, there were just a few little seats there. And so we had the catcher of that ball team up there. He worked in a mill, and he got us all the lumber. We built our own stands and did our own diamonds and everything else.
Really?
Yes.
So you guys were involved in actually building the fields,
yeah.
Is that right?
Mind you, I'm taking all the credit for this team, but there are two people. After this chap up here retired, this Willis Perchie, he was our coach, manager then. He retired, and we took a chap in named Les Blair, and he coached us for up to the time he retired. The same year that he tried coaching, the same year that I quit pitching.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And after him came a chap named Stan Churchill. Mm. Now he was into baseball for softball for an awful long time. At one time he was president of the BC body, and I have coached other teams that I used to play against. Mm-hmm. But he was the one that between the two of us we got going to these teams down in the States.
Mm-hmm. So what would you say were the golden years of softball in New Westminster?
I would think from about when I really got great in the early 40s.
Right.
And it kept getting better and better and better. Mm. And of course there was more teams, and there was more after the Depression was over. There was more teams to have sponsors, and then
it just kept going right into the 50s and 60s. Yeah. Is that right? Or
yeah. The 60s it started to die off a bit.
Right. Right.
See, when our team folded up here, and when we all got too old, it's gone down to there's very little now.
Right. What was the name of your team?
Well, the Russell Hotel was the big one that we had.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
But we had other sponsors after that. The Army and Navy stores, they were great sponsors.
Oh, were they?
Oh, yeah, they were great.
Yeah. And so, I mean, at the height of your playing, what was the community like involved?
Oh, well, as I said, in a certain town here at that time, but not near as big as it is now, all the hundreds of people we had there, out there cheering, and it was really great.
Yeah.
And of course, as I said, we had our feuds with each team. We'd have little yelling sessions at one another, bantering one another.
Like, describe.
Yeah. Well, like this here, Mark Wold that played the accordion. We all called him Banjo. You see, and stuff like that. And he'd call us something else. No, not dirty things, but and just bantering back and forth.
Right.
And the crowd, they'd be on this side, and my team would all be on this side, you see, and they'd be all yelling back and forth. It was just great.
Yeah, and that got everybody going, eh? Yeah.
It was really going, and good.
So, I mean, in a finals game, would you have a lot of people then?
Oh, yes. In the finals, I've seen it high as about 3,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
But usually there were 12, 15, 18.
Really?
Yeah, well, the Vancouver teams came over, and it was so rowdy there when they were here that they wanted police protection. I can show you the write-ups in the paper there. They wouldn't come over unless they had police protection because there was fights and everything else.
No kidding.
Oh, yeah, they were nasty over there. Vancouver was very nasty on them.
Right. And so when you went to Vancouver, was it rough too then?
Not near as bad.
No.
The fans there weren't as rowdy as ours. Well, ours were really into it,
Yeah. That must have been fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun. That's why I never gave up, I spent, how many years from, say, 36 to at least 66.
Yeah.
And
And so, would the umpires get into it?
Oh yeah. You know, they would start trying to stop things, you know, and all this stuff, and all the time they were enjoying it as much as everybody else.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, the time you get thrown out of the games and everything, you know. Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Oh sure. We kind of hack it up a bit, you know, and
yeah.
But anyway, it was great.
And so. It described to me how, like you said, this guy played the accordion.
Yeah.
You know, how did that sort of work? How did he evolve on the?
Well, he was a real good player, and he was playing for this Arnie Carlson's team, and they were just bickering back and forth, you know. But and they'd get ahead of us, and then they'd be razzing us, and then we'd get ahead of them, and they'd get razzing us, you know, and just go on and on.
Is this like from dugout to dugout?
Yeah. And of course the fans got into it too.
Yeah.
They loved it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what brought them out, you see.
Yeah. And this went on for years.
Yeah. That's before TV came too, you see.
Yeah.
TV was a bad thing for outdoor sports.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
People just didn't come.
And of course, in those days we played 9-inning games.
Oh.
And now I call them girls' games. They play 7, you see.
Right.
And
even with fast pitch?
Huh?
Even with fast pitch? Like fast pitch softball, only 7 innings.
Yeah, we had.
Huh.
Yeah, we were orthodox.
Right.
Yeah, and but we played 9 innings. I remember one of the biggest throws was up there in a BC final the year that I had played baseball. That team took me over, and that was the only pitcher we had. I pitched 25 straight innings in that park.
25 innings.
Yeah. In fact, I was a meat manager at Safeway, and I said to the head of the store, I said, I'll be a little late today because I got to go pitch a ball game at 1 o'clock. Mm-hmm. And at 7:30 he came by and I was still pitching.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No kidding. So, and tell me about some of these, you know, memorable experiences that you've had.
Well, I thought that maybe the time I pitched that perfect game, but it might have been one of mine. That was in a playoff game, and then 1-0 game was very close, you know. 1-0. Yeah, and we were playing Vancouver in Prince Edward Park.
Is this for the BC championships?
Yeah.
Or okay.
It was going to be. We won that one, and we lost the next one though. But in that series, we won that series. But
so pitching a perfect game. What does that mean?
That means that nobody got on base.
Nobody got on base.
Yeah. No walks and no.
All strikeouts.
Yeah. All outs. Yeah.
All outs. Oh,
yeah.
I see. Yeah. Yeah, that must have felt good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I had a big thrill too, and they had a write-up in the paper about all the years I was here, having those 14 years of winning the city championship, and they were asking me who I thought was going to be the next pitcher to come up and all that stuff. There was a big article in the paper. That was kind of a thrill for me.
What about some? Sorry, go on.
And again, the chance to go down and play in those teams in the States, that was one of the biggest thrills, you know.
Were they good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, some of those guys there, they did that for a living. You know.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
They were real good.
And you guys, it was all amateur up here, is that
yes.
right? Right. Now, did they work out deals sometimes where you could get a job and play or anything like that?
Well, here, there was a few people around that would, you know, Army, Navy. I got a couple of people in there, and in different places like that. The lad that was in the mill, my catcher, he was.
What was your catcher's name?
Earl Lee.
Earl Lee.
He caught for me from 1936 to the day I quit.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, we were both the same age, a month apart. And when he was 38 years old, he was watching a World Series game and had a stroke and died.
At 38?
Yeah. The best ball player I ever seen.
Really? Really? So you must have been pretty tight with these guys, then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. They were great.
Yeah. So did you ever switch teams, or you just play with these same guys?
I played with, you know, we always had the same nucleus, you know.
Yeah.
There'd be guys retire and other ones would come in.
Yeah.
But we always had the same original group, like having those two managers, or this manager, and then the other two that came in and did such a great job. Les Blair and Stan Churchill.
Mm-hmm.
They were real good, and they got wonderful sponsors for us, and you know, they were more business-like than these guys. We just did it for fun when we first started, you know.
Oh,
they
right.
get more serious when they got into the top teams. And,
right, but you still had fun, is that right?
huh? Oh, we still had fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me about some real significant championships or wins. I mean, you mentioned this full, you know, perfect game that you pitched. What big wins and championships did you have that stick out in your mind?
Well, that's one of them, and of course, when we won the BC Championship, I was the only pitcher on the team at the time, and when we had double headers, I used to pitch both games. Yeah, because I had a kind of a rubber arm, you know, it could go pretty good.
Right.
Very, very lucky.
Yeah.
And that was a big thrill, and we had tournaments that we won, the odd tournaments, you know, and stuff like that. We pitched a lot of games and big crowds.
And always with your buddies, eh?
Yeah, always with my buddies, Yeah, they're sitting up there yet.
Oh, the picture here. Yeah. So was that this picture that you're looking at? That was the first BC championship?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, the first one. That was the only one we ever won. We came second about 6 or 8 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we had so many close things. But well, you see, it's the same old story. All our players were workers and everything else, and a lot of them, other ones in other places, they just played ball, you know, and made kind of difference.
Right.
Yeah, they had jobs they never went to and stuff like that, you know.
Oh, I see. Like even in BC here?
Oh, yeah. Had them all the time, yeah.
Really? So that was almost...
In fact, I had many offers, phone calls from after we started going good, wanting me to go over there and pitch.
For Vancouver?
Yeah, for a team over there.
Oh, okay.
I had many during the 40s, but I never left.
Why didn't you leave?
Well, they wanted to pay me so much to go, you know, and all my friends, you know, we had so much fun and we were such a close group. I never changed.
Yeah.
Of the whole time.
Right. So what's fueled your passion for softball? Why softball of all things?
I don't know. I played hockey, you know, here in the amateur league for years and years, but it was never like the softball was. I don't know. It was just I couldn't play enough, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Tell me about some of these people that you remember as that you played with. Where are they now? Where are some of these people?
Well, up in that picture up there, there's only 4 of us left, and one of them's in where the soldiers are in the, what do you call that, hospital out here on
River? No.
All the soldiers and the Air Force people are there.
Oh, okay.
Sick ones, there. One of them has just gone into that. The other one's in Prince George. The other one is I lost him and all of myself. The rest are all gone.
They're all gone.
Yeah. And they're all. See, I was the youngest on the team at that time. Most of them were about 2 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was about 17 and they were 18, 19.
Right. And what year is that picture?
That's 1941.
And that's the year you won?
Yeah.
Right. So when you think about softball, do you think back to 41?
Yeah, I often do. I often think about that. Yeah. Quite the time we had to go to Victoria overnight, you know, on the boat. But yeah.
Oh, because you played in Victoria.
Yeah, we played Victoria, and we played all over the lower mainland. And
right. What were the big teams?
The big teams then were Ashers and that Girodes. They had teams and
the friendships that you formed in sports.
Yeah, well, the friendships with all those fellas up there, we were very close, and I still have that chap that just went away. His dad was Stan Churchill that
okay.
just left you, Tommy Churchill.
Okay.
See, I still with their families, we're still tight, and Les Blair too.
Right.
He's gone now, but his wife and his son, I'm in contact with them. And but the players are all pretty well gone.
Yeah.
You know, except a few of the young ones that I coached. Yeah, there's some. They're still around. There's Bill Kushner. He's on the school board out in Delta there. He used to be a principal or a teacher over here at the school, and he played football with the Lions. And he was one of my players. I hear from him all the time.
Do you?
Yeah.
And so these guys that you played with in the 40s, would you guys get together outside of baseball?
Oh, yes. Oh, we used to have poker parties and everything, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And your families would get together?
Oh, yeah.
Because by then I'd imagine you were all having children and married. And,
yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, we all had that thing, you know. We stuck together, and Sid Martin, he just passed away a while ago. He was a fireman. He was a great friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Him and Jackie Fulton were very, very, very close friends.
Well, Jack Fulton's still alive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Jack. I've known Jack since the first day I pitched in the park.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He come running up there. Everybody come up to see me, watch me. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So, what do you mean? You were just pitching and people...
Yeah, well, yeah, because that was the time we had that bet on the ice cream and the tobacco and the beer. And then every kid in the park got ice cream and
because you won.
Yeah, I'm not a drinker. I never was a drinker, but I had my share of ice cream too with the kids. Of course, I was only a kid at the time anyway.
Right.
I'd be about 18, I guess.
Right. Yeah. So when did you play these games? Like weekends or during the week? Or?
Oh, well, down there we played them all the time, all Sundays, you know, and evenings. Of course, you had to be early games because we had no lights.
Right.
See, they got the lights there now, and nobody used them.
Really?
It's just a shame, you know. We used to have there's girls teams and everything else played in there. Yeah. You know, that one time there was no swimming pool, there was no bowling green.
And so, do you still go over there to watch?
Oh yeah, we still go over, but very rarely because there's nobody you know, and there's one team that plays in there once in a while, I think, but there's a lot of just company teams, you know, that challenge each other, you know.
Right.
So big companies have maybe a couple of teams in the companies. You know. Yeah.
Did you ever, like, with your work? You said you worked at Safeway for 11 years.
Yeah.
And did you start off on your own after that, or something?
Yes, I left Safeway in 1946.
Right.
And I went into business for myself, and I opened up my first store over on 20th Street and 8th Avenue here in Westminster, and I was down on Columbia Street. I was there for 12 years, and I was down on Columbia Street for 12 years.
And that was as a meat cutter?
Yeah, the only job I had in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
You know, except for little help and things, you know, but, and I had a big freezer plant over on the corner of Hastings and Cassiar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What was your company name?
Briscoe's.
Oh, okay.
Briscoe's Meat Markets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our Briscoe's Market.
Right.
Yeah, and they had a great big plant there, and I used to sell frozen food centers all over BC.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And did you ever sponsor any teams?
Oh, yeah, we sponsored, in softball, I only sponsored one girls team in the Vancouver League. And, but here, I sponsored, there was no little softball teams, but the little leagues, my grandsons are in it, and the friends' sons, and the little leagues and soccer leagues, and stuff like that.
So why did you sponsor teams?
Just to help the kids, because I knew what fun I had playing, so, yeah. I used to go over there and at the park, and they'd win, and we'd send them up to McDonald's here for milkshakes and hamburgers, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we had a lot of fun with them,
Yeah, I bet. And this would have been in the 70s, I guess.
Yeah. And, I guess it would be, 70s. We came here in 75, that'd be the 70s, yeah.
Oh, I see. Right.
But you know, it's nice to see the grandchildren having fun, and that,
And now your great-grandchildren.
Yeah, I got 5 of them now.
Are they all in New Westminster here?
No, there's 2 are up in Yellowknife,
Oh, yeah.
and the rest are around here, yeah.
And do they all play sports?
The little ones, they're too small. One's playing Little League.
Right.
It is out in Coquitlam.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, that's good. So sports is sort of carried on. Really. Yeah.
But there's so many things that have gone past in all the years in Moody Park. The things that we had to do and to keep the thing going, and to sponsor ourselves for going down to those. We used to buy a big boat and raffle it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we'd raffle that off, make some money for it to go down. They paid us a certain amount to go down there, but some of the guys needed a bit of cash, to go down.
So that was a big deal going down.
Oh, yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
And you see the best players in the world,
Yeah. And play against them, I imagine.
Yeah, well, I had 2 boys, Jack Luco and Jerry Barneson. They were on the all-star teams.
Oh, yeah.
Down there, when they were picked together at the end of the thing. And Jerry Barneson won the batting title, he batted 500.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? So you'd form special teams to go down, is that right?
Yeah, well, usually it was our team, but we maybe add a couple,
Right.
But the only year we had a group we formed our own league here that time. We were having a bit of trouble with Vancouver, so we had half a dozen teams here, and we separated all our players on them, the pitchers and that,
Right.
to make them a little stronger and that.
Right. Sounds to me like Vancouver was the team to beat.
Yeah, they were. Oh, when we beat them those times, you see that big pictures in the newspapers there,
Yeah. How many times in a row was that?
13. 13 times in a row. And we beat the worst team in the league beat us the 14th time.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy got a home run in the last inning. Anyway, that's the way it goes.
I guess so.
Yeah.
What sort of impact has sports had on your life?
Very big. It's been my. I have never been a rabble-rouser or drinker or anything, and sports was really big.
Was it?
It still is with me with hockey and baseball.
Right. Like, has it, in terms of overflow into your regular life, is it just a part of your life?
Yeah, it's just a part of it. Yeah. It's been all the time, and my wife here, she's just as big a fan as I am.
Oh, yeah.
So we just love watching the games on TV, and because there's so little else on TV to watch now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
All shoot-ups and
yeah. And what about things like skills and discipline and teamwork and things like that? Do you think sports has helped with that?
I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I'm always for the kids playing sports.
Yeah.
That's why we sponsored them,
right.
to keep them off the street. And
right.
It doesn't always work, but it's nice. And it's great to see some of our local boys going down and playing in the big leagues right now. With all kinds of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right from Westminster here.
You mean baseball? Or?
Yeah, baseball, yeah.
Really? Yeah. That must feel nice.
And the hockey now, too.
Yes. So do you feel sports are important to New Westminster, then?
Well, they're not as important as I wish they would be. Like we don't have any, what you call, they just have to full of lacrosse. Lacrosse is still stayed well here, but the baseball teams have, they're not top teams. You see, to sponsor a team in the top thing now, it must cost thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars now.
Right.
Look at the trips to go all over the world.
Yeah.
Right.
So do you think that something like softball was important because of the community, or was it important? I mean, I know it was important for the players, but you talk about how, everybody in the neighborhood would come and, would you, I'm sure you'd like to see that again.
I'd love it.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, they don't have the people to bring it on, you know.
Right.
All those guys that got too old, and like they say Arnie Carlson, he was a great one, and Les Blair and Stan Churchill and a few more, a couple of the policemen and firemen. They were interested in the sport, but they've all retired, and they're like me. They'll be 86 in a month or so, and
there hasn't been other ones to pick up the slack.
Nobody come. They just folded, and I think it's one of the first things that people don't seem to like the 7-inning games.
Right.
Like they did the 9, and they don't like the slingshot pitching. You know that you stand here and you jump through the window and throw the ball. I mean, it's you don't have to. When we had to stand with both feet on the thing to hurl the ball.
You could take a step.
Well, you just took a step as you threw.
Right.
Yeah. But when you wound up and started your delivery, you had to have both feet on the rubber.
Oh, I see. Right. So it really has changed.
It's changed into more. It's more baseball than it is softball.
Oh, I see.
They throw it. They've got pitchers pitching baseball almost the same style as softball.
Really?
Yeah, underhand. They got a couple of Japanese guys. They throw it underhand.
They throw the baseball like that?
Yeah.
Really?
And they're relievers too, so they're good.
Yeah. Huh. So the sport has changed.
I'm very disappointed that it is, because I'd love to be able to go there every night during the summer and sit there and watch them play again.
Yeah, I bet. Apart from that, I think we're almost done the interview, but what sort of things do you think I might have missed in this interview that you'd like to talk about?
Well, nothing very much. You might like me to tell you about the team of the best players I had?
Sure.
Well, for catcher, I would have Earl Lee, the chap that died very early. And for pitcher, Gordie Hartley. Now, he died quite young, too, you know, around 50-ish. And on first base, I would have Bob McComb. He's a fireman, a retired fireman. Second base would be Sid Martin, another fireman.
Are they still around?
Yeah, Sid Martin just passed away.
Okay.
But Bob McComb, and third baseman would be Bud Churchill. He lives in the building here.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, that was his brother that walked up.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he'd be the third baseman. Shortstop would be Bobby Leach. He was a fireman, and the left fielder would be Jack Luco. He was one of the ones that was on the All-Star game.
Okay.
On the All-Star team down there. And the other one would be Denny Churchill. Ronnie Clark would be center fielder, and he's in the Hall of Fame in softball.
Oh.
Yeah. And the right fielder would be Jerry Barnston. And for the as they have right now, they have the DH hitter. I would have Bill Kushner, that big guy used to play for the Lions.
Oh, I see.
That would be the ones. That was my favorite. I figured about the best ones I had. Mind you, I had lots of good ones.
Did you?
Oh yeah, I could go on and pick another team almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a chap named Bill House, great guy. And he worked for the government in income tax. And he caught cancer and died very, very young too.
Right.
He died when he was playing for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
He caught cancer and he's got wonderful folks. His dad has they have a hockey tournament over here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's a funny thing. You meet so many nice people in sports.
Do you? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's so different,
Mm-hmm. Do you think it was less competitive back then? Is that why it's different?
Well, we were pretty competitive, We got into almost fights,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It was. But you see, after the game was over, the same guy, let's go down for a milkshake. Let's go down for coffee.
Mm.
Or some of them are going, well, let's go down to the beer bar and have a beer,
Mm-hmm.
And the only time I ever drank a beer was after I'd pitched the game in the heat, and I was so short of water, I guess. A cold glass of beer was the best. One glass, and that was it. But that's just the thing. But I don't know. It's such a change. I don't understand why. When they have that beautiful park there, and nobody in it. Oh, they have kind of meetings of companies. I think they have a gathering, and have food over there and everything.
All right. Well, thank you.
I'm happy. I'm very happy to have done this.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.